This is CBC Nova Scotia News.
Tonight, landlord crackdown. CBRM hands out a steep fine for the owner of a Sydney rooming house after a man dies in a house fire.
Hang up on smartphones. A new advocacy group urges parents to delay giving children a smartphone until high school.
And going viral, a groom's wedding day surprise for his Buffalo Bills fan bride is a real touchdown.
Quiet for Friday, a few sunny breaks in the mix, and then we've got a warm-up coming for the weekend and a cold shot next week. All the details are coming up.
Good evening. The owner of a rooming house in Sydney has been fined nearly $98,000 for safety infractions. It comes after a man from India died in a house fire.
Now, the Cape Breton Regional Municipality says they're cracking down on landlords cutting corners. The CBC's Kyle Moore has the story.
It was in December 2022 that 33-year-old Rashish Galapudi died in this fatal fire. According to court documents, the CBU student sustained burns to 70% of his body. The owner of the property was sentenced for 1 count of failing to provide a proper exit and 6 counts of failing to ensure proper fire extinguishers were available. Total fines of $97,750.
I was so disheartened to hear that.
Rooming houses are required to have at least 2 exits from a 3rd story. An agreed statement of facts says Galapudi was living on the 3rd floor where there was only 1 exit. He was found dead at the base of the stairs.
I'm glad to hear someone was fined a significant amount of money, because at the end of the day, most of the people who are in this business are doing it to make money, but they're cutting corners on safety to do it.
The CBRM has created a bylaw as a result of Galapudi's death and are now planning stricter enforcement.
We're moving into a much more expedited process now that will allow our officials to issue summary offense tickets. Ultimately, if there's a home that's not safe right now, our fire department can go in and shut that down.
Priscilla Lotherington is president of the Investment Property Owners Association of Cape Breton. She says the bylaw is necessary to protect renters like Galapudi, but says it might be hard to enforce.
I've seen quite a few stories where the landlord goes in to do an inspection on a property and there's mattresses everywhere in the living room and in the dining room and all the bedrooms, and it's like, what are these for? It's like there's that many people living there, but it wasn't done with the permission of the landlord.
A fine for not complying can cost almost $700, which can be issued daily. Approval for that fine needs to come from the province, and that's expected soon. Kyle Moore, CBC News, Sydney.
A single stab wound to the chest that pierced the heart was the official cause of Ahmad Almarak's death. Nova Scotia's Deputy Chief Medical Examiner testified to the cause today at the trial of one of 4 teens accused of killing Almarak in a parking garage at the Halifax Shopping Centre last year. Dr. Eric Mont said the stab wound pierced his heart and left lung, and the blade penetrated 8 to 10 inches into the boy's body. The doctor also said none of the other injuries Almarak sustained were life-threatening.
Premier Tim Houston says he's satisfied with the plan the federal government has in place to deal with incoming President Donald Trump's threat of tariffs. Houston and the other premiers met with the Prime Minister yesterday to talk about Canada's response and the impact in this province.
A tariff at that level could impact thousands of Nova Scotian jobs. So it's something that it's a serious issue. It's something that we're concerned about, and as I said, I'll certainly do everything I can to stand up for Nova Scotian interests in Ottawa and abroad and wherever is necessary. But in this case, for sure, we'll do what we can.
Houston says the federal government has plans to try to cushion the blow that tariffs could have on Canadian companies. Meanwhile, former Premier Stephen McNeil and other former politicians have been added to a council on Canada-U.S. relations. The Prime Minister's office says the council will advise Cabinet on the tariff threat in the weeks and months ahead.
And Ryan Snoddon with us now from the CBC Weather Centre.
And Ryan, you've been taking a look back at some of the temperatures.
Yeah, 2024, and you've likely already heard that 2024 was the warmest year on record for planet Earth. And you can see the consensus is there from the big 6 weather science agencies that all track the temperature on planet Earth. And yeah, 2024 was a record breaker. How about here closer to home? Well, I just finished crunching the numbers. And across the Maritimes, this was, for the most part, a top 5 warmest finish, including Yarmouth and Halifax. Sydney tied for 3rd warmest, and Greenwood coming in tied for 6th, but for the most part, a top 5 finish. And this was the 5th consecutive year that we've finished into the top 10 across most of the Maritimes. And as you look at these top 10 ranks, pretty much every year or every one of these lists consists of years since 1999. We can spot a couple of years here in the 1950s, but the trend is obviously undisputable that obviously we're warming up not only across the planet, but here regionally as well. You can take a closer look at these numbers at cbc.ca/Nova Scotia. Tom and Amy.
All right, Ryan, we'll look forward to the forecast a little bit later as well. The Transportation Safety Board says a blown tire is to blame for the collapse of a passenger plane's landing gear as it made a fiery touchdown in Halifax last month. The TSB says the PAL aircraft had a tire failure during takeoff on December 28th in St. John's. That left tire fragments on the runway, and neither the tire blowout nor the debris were noticed. The flight continued on to Halifax with 73 passengers and 4 crew members on board. The plane started vibrating on touchdown and the left side landing gear collapsed. That caused the left propeller to strike the runway and a fire broke out in the left engine. It was extinguished and no one was injured.
Former Bank of Canada Governor Mark Carney says he is in the running to replace Justin Trudeau as Liberal leader.
I'm here to ask for your support. I'm here to earn your trust, to lead that fight. I'm back home in Edmonton to declare my candidacy for leader of the Liberal Party and Prime Minister of Canada.
Carney says he has the expertise needed to steer Canada through a period of economic uncertainty, with President-elect Donald Trump threatening tariffs on Canadian goods. I'm joined now by Tom Urbaniak, a political science professor with Cape Breton University. So what do you make of Mark Carney's decision?
Well, it's completely unsurprising. In fact, Mark Carney has sort of been hovering around Liberal leadership prospects for a long time.
Well, he says he's running as an outsider. What does he need to do to perhaps distance himself from Trudeau and his Liberals?
He's going to have to very quickly announce some policies that mark a clear break from Justin Trudeau. He will probably disavow the carbon tax while still promoting his environmental credentials. He will have to introduce himself to Canadians, and the fact that he has spent much of his career sort of working outside, actually, the federal Liberal bubble, whether that's his governorship for the Bank of England or his work in the corporate sector, some of which the Conservatives will try to use against him. They'll try to sort of present him as a person who hovers around the elites and who does the cocktail circuits. Anecdotally, we know, however, that Mark Carney is actually very personable and does have a grassroots demeanor.
Now, Chrystia Freeland is also expected to enter the race. Who do you think has a better shot?
They're both very much in contention. I'm going to be looking to see how many big-name Liberals in the next day or two make a statement on behalf of Mark Carney, or make a statement that they will be supporting Mark Carney. How many MPs? Will some current cabinet ministers be willing to give an unequivocal endorsement? That will signal to me maybe that Mark Carney has a lot of momentum. Chrystia Freeland did rub a few Liberals the wrong way with the manner of her resignation. It was spectacular. And there were Trudeau loyalists, staunch Liberal loyalists who thought that might have ultimately hurt the party brand. So I'll be also watching to see the extent to which that impacts on Chrystia Freeland's candidacy or her momentum.
All right. Well, a lot to watch. Thanks for your time. We appreciate it.
My pleasure, Amy. Thank you.
A new advocacy group is urging parents and guardians to delay giving children a smartphone until high school, and experts agree it's the right move. The CBC's Ali Thompson tells us why.
Does your child have a smartphone? Should they have a smartphone? That's a question many parents around the world have been asking themselves. And a growing number of them are arriving at this conclusion: they shouldn't, at least not until high school. In Nova Scotia, a group of parents have set out to inform people of the potential harms in the hopes of sparking a movement towards a smartphone-free childhood. Jenna Post knows a lot about smartphones. She's worked in the tech industry for 20 years and helped build the very first BlackBerry smartphones. So she's all too aware of the harms they can cause.
The smartphones are really fueling a mental health crisis in our children and in the youth, and it's giving you a gateway to harmful content, exposing them to kind of violent content. It's also built to be addictive.
Post is a leader of the local chapter of Unplugged Canada, a new advocacy group that hopes to convince parents to pledge to delay giving smartphones to their kids as long as possible. She hopes that building a community will give people the confidence to follow through on that commitment and help change the tides of a smartphone-obsessed society.
We've started to see the movement of the cell phone bans in schools and the restrictions in schools. That's been going across Canada, that's going across the world. We're even seeing legislation come out about trying to raise the age of social media to at least 16 in Australia, and even the UK is looking at it. I think we all kind of knew it in the pit of our stomach all along, but I think we now have enough information that says we should do it, and we have more of a support system of people talking about it.
So what's at risk? Psychologists in the US and Canada say the list is long.
When you have the depression rate going up 50 to 100%, you have the suicide rate is up 50%, in the US at least. Education has been declining in America since 2012, not since COVID. So we have an enormous destruction of mental health, happiness, and education. This counts to me as one of the biggest public health emergencies we've ever had.
The list is long. If we look at the physical side of things, such phones are associated with sedentariness, disturbed sleep, and obesity. On the psychological side of things, we see links to inattention, depression, anxiety, suicidal thinking, loneliness, and a host of other mental health challenges.
Post realizes going smartphone free is easier said than done, but there are alternatives like the pinwheel phone, which gives parents control over what kids can do. You can get a home phone for after-school check-ins and a family computer for games and internet browsing.
I mean, that's where we're at. We're all in an impossible situation. Everybody has one, so they feel they have to give one to their child, or their child begs them until they feel they need to. I think kids need to be able to have a childhood without the need of this device, and if we just start with your own small community and start to make some change there, less people will have them and there'll be less pressure to actually have to give them one.
While the experts do agree on delaying giving your child a smartphone, Simon Sherry says there are some positive social interactions that can come from them. But it's important to make the best decision for your family. As for Jenna Post and Unplugged Canada, they're hosting information sessions for parents to learn how to talk to your kids about going smartphone free. Ali Thompson, CBC News, Halifax.
Thanks, Ali. Well, a groom's wedding day surprise for his Buffalo Bills fan bride is a real touchdown.
Oh, yeah. The Bedford couple's wedding vows, where the groom gifts the bride NFL tickets, is going viral. Have a look.
I vow to be truthful with you, to share with you my honest self, inside and out, and to hold no secrets. But not always. Sometimes I may have to hold on to a secret bonus gift to give you during our ceremony. We're going to see the Bills.
Pretty excited about it?
Yeah, I think so.
Olivia Durong and Sean Smith got married a month ago, and as you saw there during his vows, Smith pulled out tickets to a Buffalo Bills game from his jacket as a surprise gift to his wife, and her reaction says it all.
Durong is a huge Bills fan, and her reaction is getting a lot of attention online. She tells CBC News she's getting offers of team gear and invites to tailgate parties from Buffalo fans. The couple heads to New York this weekend to see the Bills play the Ravens.
They're going to have a great time, aren't they?
Yeah. There's a look at Amherst, and Ryan's got his full weather forecast coming up. We'll see you in a few minutes.
All right, we know 2024 was warm, that's for sure, thanks to Ryan in the earlier part of the show there. But yeah, above seasonal temperatures again this weekend.
Yeah, so at least a good chance to get outside and enjoy winter. It's not balmy, but it'll be enjoyable.
Above the freezing mark, which is always a bonus.
No frostbite.
No frostbite. It'd be nice to have a little bit of snow on the ground. Yeah, we won't have that in many spots, but of course, as we saw last night, a couple of spots that do have some, and we'll bring a chance in to bring some widespread snow on Monday. Okay. Maybe some mixing along the coast. We'll talk about that. Let's have a look at our current temperatures, and you can see where we're right now, -7s. From the valley to the Halifax airport. It's going to be a pretty cool night tonight, no question. -8 to -12, generally speaking. And you can see temps along the coast a little bit milder. The winds have not been a big factor today, which has been oh so nice. Yeah, always nice to see a break from the wind. That cloud, it was stubborn today. was really thinking we would see a little more in the way of sunshine than what we did see. But that low-level cloud was, really stuck and stubborn, wanting to stick overhead today. A little more optimistic that we'll see some sunnier breaks tomorrow afternoon for Friday afternoon. So there is that to hold our hopes on. You can see low spinning east of Newfoundland. We've got another trough that's building into the Great Lakes. That's sparking up some flurries there. And as we look off to the west, we've got another low rolling through the prairies right now and high pressure dominating across most of the U.S. South. And you can see temperatures, a little on the cool side. 18s, Houston, New Orleans. 16 for the snowbirds in Orlando. That's a bit cool for those folks. And most of that Arctic air has retreated back to the north for now. It will make a triumphant return to North America for next week. Let's have a look at temperatures tonight, and we will indeed see temperatures generally -8 to -12. Couple of spots a bit cooler, couple of spots a little bit milder. Cape Breton right around -5 to -7. Tri-County area -6 to -7. And those minus double-digit starts for most of us. Note, we'll see a slight chance of a flurry here through the Tri-County area overnight and for Cape Breton overnight, and that will continue into tomorrow. There's just a weak disturbance here that will continue to spark flurries for Cape Breton tomorrow, and they'll be also blowing in the onshore variety with that light northwesterly flow. The winds will be light tomorrow, thankfully, but a bit of a persistent wind from the northwest here for Cape Breton, so Inverness County likely continuing to see those flurries even into the afternoon. Just a slight risk into the afternoon for Richmond County and back towards Sydney with the greatest risk in the morning. Antigonish should see morning flurries wrapping up there. Eastern Shore back into the Halifax area, flurry free tomorrow, but the clouds stubborn in the morning, and then a better chance that we'll see some of those breaks into the afternoon. From Pictou County and up into the Tatamagouche area, looking at a few flurries there possible in the morning, and then some brighter skies into the afternoon. Temperatures near the freezing mark for the Tri-County area tomorrow, and will be in the -1 to -2 range, and pretty quiet yet again. Now the wind chill values tomorrow morning, again, we're starting in the -8 to 12 range, so really not much of a wind chill given the winds are going to be so light in the morning. Basically what you see is what you get. Tomorrow afternoon the winds pick up a little bit, but really not adding a whole lot to what it will feel like. So that's some good news with those light winds for Friday. Saturday, southerly winds, clouds from the get-go here in the south and west. Some morning sun fades away as those clouds build in as our next system rolls in. Let's time it out. There goes the area of high pressure. Here comes the cloud through Saturday. Maybe some patchy drizzle, Yarmouth, Shelburne, Tri-County area for Saturday afternoon. Fog patches developing on Saturday, and this is the push of mild air and wet weather, and it will be wet indeed. Doesn't look like a crazy amount of rain, but 5 to 15 millimeters, maybe a little bit more for eastern areas in Cape Breton. That low will move out, and this is the low we're keeping an eye on for Monday, Sunday night into Monday, and it does look like snow on the northern edge with some mixing perhaps right along the Atlantic coastline. The track is going to be key. Models have been throwing spaghetti at the wall to see what sticks, and there hasn't been much sticking so far. What is sticking is that cold shot. It's coming. It will be sticking around for a few days as well.
Looks chilly. Okay, thanks, Ryan.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you.
Coming up, Elver fishers are calling on Ottawa to share details of its controversial plan to distribute quotas. The Federal Fisheries Department is delaying information sessions on a pilot project after criticism over a plan to transfer baby eel quotas away from longtime license holders. Ottawa plans to redistribute 27% of the total maritime catch of roughly 10,000 kilograms of baby eels, or elvers, from 9 commercial license holders to 120 people who would operate on their own. Austin Townsend is in Lockport. He fishes elvers for a living, and he doesn't like the direction DFO has been going with this fishery. So there is this delay now on the information sessions for the pilot project. What do you think is happening?
Well, it's hard to say what could be happening. There's a lot of different things, and really we don't know much. They don't really tell us too much. But to me personally, I think that maybe they are starting to realize, hey, this isn't right what we're doing. And maybe there's some repercussions that we might face in the future if we go forward with this.
And this is a pilot project to look at how they might be able to go forward with the fishery. DFO has said that they want to put the fishery in the hands of fishermen and bring more Indigenous fishermen into the industry. What's wrong with that?
Well, at the end of the day, the thing that's wrong with that is it must be taken in a willing buyer, willing seller approach. Like taking it back 4 years ago, that's what they proposed in the beginning, and then they kind of decided, well, no, we're just going to take that. It's fine to include more people in the fishery, but it needs to be through willing buyer, willing seller. At the end of the day, that's the only way it can be done properly.
But if it is willing buyer, willing seller, it's a pretty lucrative fishery. Is anyone going to want to sell their portion of the fishery?
Well, I mean, that's I'm sure that there would be people that would like to, but like I'm not really, I can't really speak for that as a fisherman. I'm not really too sure, but that's just the only moral way that it can be done, right? So.
Yeah, I mean, it is a fishery that some people have been making some pretty good money from. And it might seem counterintuitive to some people to hear you say that transferring the catch from commercial license holders to the fishermen, people like yourself, transferring it to the fishermen themselves is not what you would like to see happen. How would you explain that, why you feel that way?
Well, this proposed pilot project is really just a temporary quota. I'm not really sure. They haven't told us what happens. I think it's 2027. I'm not sure what happens after that. What we had before was a real solid thing. I mean, my father got into this over 26 years ago, and it's become a family tradition since then. And with the pilot project, it kind of hurts me to think that I have children myself, and maybe they might not ever be able to even be a part of this tradition, right?
So if DFO proceeds with making changes to the fishery, as they have suggested they're going to do, how physically or logistically, how would that change the way that you get your elvers to market?
Well, they haven't even really come up with any solutions for that as far as I know. Like, they've kind of floated ideas around, but there hasn't really been anything solid. I'm not even too sure what that would mean for getting them to market.
Because the way it works right now, just to explain to people, the way it works right now, and maybe you can explain this, you catch elvers, and then what happens?
Well, then we come back to the facility, and then that facility, I think there's 30 of the dippers, and then that facility is owned by 17 shareholders. And then we have an auction, and then we auction them off, and then we kind of get paid as they auction them off.
So DFO wants to kind of take those businesses out of the mix. Why do you think that's not a good idea? And put it right in the hands of the fishermen?
Well, I mean, as far as Shelburne Elver goes, I can't really speak for the other license holders, but Shelburne Elver is small business. Like, that is the small business. There's 17 shareholders of it. Like, the wealth is all distributed between 17 families, and we really are one big family down there now. We've had our differences in the past, but the last 4 years have brought us together, made us stronger than ever, right? But
so how do you feel about the future of the fishery? And looking at future generations, you mentioned your family there in particular.
Well, I think the one word for that I would say is uncertain. The future is pretty foggy. They haven't told us anything that's going on really. Like, they just kind of, we don't know anything. We just kind of go as we're flying by the seat of our pants here, right? So I would like to see my children fishing one day and carry on the tradition. But it's hard to say.
DFO says they're working on it. We'll wait to hear what they do have to say. Austin Townsend, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Coming up, after delaying plans to vote on a ceasefire deal, the Israeli cabinet says it will convene to approve it tomorrow.
And after more than a week of raging wildfires in Southern California, nearly 100,000 people remain out of their homes. Welcome back. The Israeli cabinet is yet to vote on the ceasefire deal with Hamas.
But if it is approved, the first phase of the agreement would begin on Sunday. The CBC's Sasha Petrovic has more from Jerusalem.
The ceasefire deal seemed to be on again, off again most of the day today. The Israelis complaining that Hamas had raised last-minute demands that were unreasonable. Hamas saying that it did not do that and that, in fact, it was going by the agreement that was announced yesterday. But in the end, it looks as though the ceasefire deal is back on track. Israel is now going through the process of getting cabinet approval and getting the approval of the Israeli parliament, the Knesset. There is an issue there, though, because Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has been under pressure from a couple of the far-right hardline parties in his own coalition. They have said that they don't want this ceasefire deal, that they want to continue fighting. But it does seem as though Netanyahu is going to go ahead, and there's been a lot of pressure from the American side to keep that on track.
On the ceasefire, yes, I am confident, and I fully expect that implementation will begin, as we said, on Sunday.
The schedule is like this. On Sunday, 5 female soldiers, Israeli soldiers, who have been held hostage in Gaza for the past 15 months, will be the first to be released. After that, a number of other things will start to take place in the territory and outside as well. The Israeli military is supposed to pull back to the borders. Aid agencies are supposed to be able to ramp up the amount of aid that they've been able to get in. Also, there have been these lists of Palestinian prisoners being held by Israel in its jails. Well, over 1,000 of these are scheduled to be released in exchange for the hostages, the 33 hostages who are going to be released over the next 6 weeks. And all of that is going to be a very complex process, and that is just the first phase of a much more complicated and even longer process, a 3-phase process that will take weeks after that. Sasha Petrusek, CBC News, Jerusalem.
The fight against the Los Angeles wildfires continues, with the two largest fires, 22% and 55% contained. The race now is to build on that momentum before an expected change in the weather Sunday. The devastation has been overwhelming. The CBC's Cameron McIntosh takes this look at one street in the district of Altadena.
This is the Altadena neighborhood of Los Angeles, Glen Rose Avenue, and here's a story of one block. This was on the edge of the evacuation zone. People are starting to come back. Many are finding scenes like this, houses completely gone. Now, this started when the trees in the back caught on fire. The fire spread. Elba Meda and her family, they've been coming here looking for anything that they can salvage. She only speaks Spanish. Her 12-year-old son says they've found nothing. How does it feel to see this?
It's really sad because my whole entire life here, 12 years, every single year here.
Now, over here next door at the neighbors, they lost their garage and likely their family business, but check this out. They've started a completely grassroots donation center. Clothes, food, baby supplies, pretty much anything that anyone who lost everything may need just to get to the next day.
We got diapers, wipes, formula, like there's boys' clothes here, girls' clothes there. I couldn't sit back and just not do anything, you know? Especially since our house was left standing. I felt like it was for a reason.
Come down the street a little, you can see how random this all can be. This house destroyed. The one next to it still standing. Gary Hampton has lived here since he was 3.
Well, it's a good thing we got out. You know, we didn't get burned up. But yeah, it's, be thankful for what we got.
Look up. A red streak of fire retardant stains the mountain above as life here resumes. All of these people, neighbors, all of them hit by the fire in different ways. Cameron McIntosh, CBC News, Altadena.
The days could be numbered for one of Canada's key climate policies. The so-called carbon tax has been in the crosshairs of the Conservatives for years. Now, some Liberal leadership hopefuls are signaling they're prepared to ditch it. David Thurton has more.
At a steel manufacturing company, Justin Trudeau defended one of his big political legacies, even if its days are numbered.
Future governments will make the choices they make, but Canadians can know that it is possible to both fight climate change and put more money in the pockets of the middle class at the same time.
And our climate is changing in ways that threatens livelihoods from Fort Mac to Fort Smith.
Those vying to replace him are signaling if they become leader, it's gone.
I've said for a long time that if you were going to take out the carbon tax, you should replace it with something that is at least, if not more, effective.
Mark Carney is not the only one. As the former Deputy Prime Minister gets ready to enter the race, Chrystia Freeland, according to a source, is expected to ditch the policy, and she will replace it with a system that premiers support.
The carbon tax has been very difficult from a policy perspective.
Enthusiasm among Liberals for consumer carbon pricing has dimmed.
There's different ways to be able to go about fighting climate change, and if a leader wants to be able to change that, I would fully support it.
If there's a leadership candidate that's thinking about it, I'm not necessarily going to discourage it.
Drivers pay the federal carbon tax at the pump, families on home heating fuel. Many, not all Canadians, get more money back through quarterly checks.
Now they have a carbon tax.
That's 17 cents a liter.
Pierre Poilievre is still calling for the carbon tax to be the next ballot box question.
If we had a carbon tax election now, we could elect a strong, stable, national majority government that would stand up for all Canadians.
Eliminating the consumer carbon tax would leave a big hole in Canada's climate plan. Conservatives haven't said in a detailed way how they would make up for that. Liberal leadership candidates in this race also haven't said how they would close the emissions gap. David Thurton, CBC News, Ottawa.
A new report from the International Labour Organization shows unemployment is at a historic low across the globe. The world unemployment rate has been at 5% since last year, but the positive trend is not the same across countries and age groups. Young people face much higher joblessness at 12.6%, and South Africa reported above 30% last year. A global slowdown could further dampen growth. The report recommends investments in education to help boost jobs.
Bollywood star Saif Ali Khan has been stabbed after an intruder barged into his home in Mumbai. The 54-year-old actor has had to undergo surgery for the multiple wounds. The CBC's Salima Shivji is in New Delhi and has the latest.
He's out of danger now and recovering in an ICU bed in hospital. But Bollywood star Saif Ali Khan had a big scare earlier today when an intruder managed to enter his home in a ritzy area of Mumbai in the early hours at about 2 o'clock in the morning. Now, Saif Ali Khan is from a very prominent celebrity family. He and his wife, superstar Kareena Kapoor, are actually considered Bollywood royalty. The knife that was used to attack Khan was actually lodged inside his spine, and he had to undergo surgery to have it removed, and also to repair leaking spinal fluid. Khan had about 6 stab wounds, 2 of them very deep in his neck and arm. The doctor treating him confirms. Mumbai police are investigating, and they do believe this was all part of a botched robbery attempt. Officers think that the intruder used a fire escape to enter the home while the family, including the couple's 2 young sons, were sleeping. Now, Kareena Kapoor, Khan's wife, has released a statement saying this has been an extremely challenging day for the family and that they're still trying to process what happened, as she called for the media to give them a little bit of space and privacy to actually process what happened. And Mumbai police have actually set up about 20 teams to continue this investigation to try to track down the suspect. Salima Shivji, CBC News, Delhi.
An international group of experts is proposing new ways to define and diagnose obesity. The idea is to move away from the controversial body mass index and to reduce stigma for people with larger bodies. Mike Crawley looks at how it could change the approach to healthcare.
Sandra Bernison volunteers with a weight loss support group called TOPS, which stands for Taking Off Pounds Sensibly. She hears from members how obesity affects their lives.
They're made to feel like they're not as good as a person that's slim.
BMI stands for Body Mass Index.
For decades, obesity has been defined by body mass index, a ratio of weight to height. Medical experts believe BMI is too blunt an instrument.
It doesn't tell me anything about your body fat, your muscle.
Canadian pediatrician Catherine Morrison runs this lab at McMaster University that can accurately measure people's metabolism. She's on the international panel that agreed on a new way to define and to diagnose obesity.
Very important to enable folks to get the treatment that they need. The advantage of them is
the key shift, emphasizing the health effects of excess body fat.
This removes, we hope, the sort of burden on the individual that they have in some way caused this condition for themselves, and that we will treat it as we do any other disease like cancer and type 2 diabetes.
The new diagnosis is officially called clinical obesity. The experts say the change communicates that obesity can be a serious illness, not a mere lifestyle choice. It means doctors will need to consider how excess fat is harming a person's organs or limiting their daily activity to make a diagnosis. This obesity specialist supports the shift.
Diabetes, heart disease, fatty liver, all of those medical conditions, real medical conditions that cause death, should be addressed by a medical team. A larger body size should not be addressed by a medical team.
Obesity increases the risk of diabetes, heart disease, and some cancers. The commission that developed the new definition says the growing use of weight loss drugs makes it all the more important to diagnose obesity accurately. Mike Crawley, CBC News, Hamilton.
A town in rural Ontario offers a stark example of the doctor shortage many parts of the country are facing. On Wednesday, hundreds of residents had to stand in line in freezing weather for a chance at getting a family physician. The CBC's Jamie Strachan reports.
I'm going to give you a hug now or later. Thank you.
After hours in a line that snaked around Walkerton's Legion Hall and down surrounding streets, Susan Marshall is cold.
I'm sorry, but I'm frozen. My lips are frozen right now.
But the payoff is huge. After 5 years, she will finally have a family doctor. Walkerton is getting a new physician. 500 patients will get a spot. No triage, though, just first come, first served. More than 1,000 people showed up.
I actually saw this post on Facebook, of all places, and I thought with today's weather that it definitely, there wouldn't be so many folks.
It says that there's a problem if there's this many people willing to come out in a snowstorm to try and get a doctor.
More than 1,000 people came to line up here in the cold, in the snow, all desperate. All with stories of what life has been like without a family doctor.
My husband, he has fairly serious health issues, and many times I feel like I'm not able to cope.
Most end up in the ER or simply go untreated.
I just absolutely waited out until I absolutely have to go to the hospital.
There is similar desperation in many parts of the country. More than 6 million Canadians don't have a family doctor.
We're seeing a Hunger Games all across Ontario.
It's unsustainable, says the president of the Ontario Medical Association.
What happens when you can't find a family doctor? You end up using the emergency department for care. You end up missing cancer, another important preventive care.
Now, in Walkerton, some just got a much-needed lifeline.
We've had 5 years now without a doctor, so it feels like we won the lottery.
But in Canada's new reality of universal health care, many others who braved the cold and snow lost again. Jamie Strachan, CBC News, Walkerton, Ontario.
It's the time of year when an ice bridge operates on the Ottawa River in Quebec's eastern townships. But a warming climate means the operator has to ensure its sturdiness. So they're turning to technology to add extra layers of safety. Matt Demores reports.
This is the spot where the Ottawa River meets the Lake of Two Mountains, and right now the ice is thick enough that I can stand on it. And it's also thick enough so that in the coming days, folks will be able to drive over it in their cars. This stretch of the lake is being turned into a 2-kilometer ice bridge linking Hudson and Oka.
A lot of people work north to south, so they will save a lot of time. And for Oka and Hudson came a lot of tourists.
Now, the ice bridge isn't open yet to the public, but I'm about to get a sneak peek at what the experience is like on a snowmobile. Now, while this ice is thick enough for a snowmobile and then eventually a car to go across the water, you have to go slowly, about a maximum of 15 kilometers an hour.
Because when you go fast, you create a wave under the ice, and that wave can maybe stress the ice.
The ferry company here has been operating the ice bridge for decades, but with milder winters recently, there have been several years where thinner ice has kept it closed, including the last 2 years.
If we don't have -10, -20, it will not be able to open.
But the new owner is adapting. For the last few days, he's been clearing snow from the ice, drilling holes, and using a cannon to shoot water from under the ice onto the surface. He's been thickening the ice about 600 meters at a time to cover the length of the bridge.
We put a lot of water on every night, not too much, but you can win 1 or 2 each a night. So it's probably this year we just win 2 weeks because we work that way.
After a lot of work, the bridge is almost open to greet drivers until about March. But even with this new water cannon system, there's still no guarantee that the bridge will open every year. Matt Demel, CBC News, Hudson.
Director David Lynch has died at the age of 78. Lynch was co-creator of the groundbreaking series Twin Peaks. He also directed films like Mulholland Drive, Elephant Man, and Blue Velvet. Lynch's work often mixed together modern American life with elements of horror. In August, the director announced he had emphysema, a chronic disease that causes shortness of breath.
After its initial launch was delayed on Monday, Blue Origin's New Glenn rocket blasted off from Cape Canaveral, Florida, early this morning.
5, 4, 1. Lift off.
The rocket was carrying a prototype satellite, which will now orbit thousands of kilometers above Earth. Blue Origin founder Jeff Bezos was at mission control for the launch. This is a major win for Bezos and the company, which hopes to compete with Elon Musk's SpaceX in the satellite launch business.
Strength in technology and utility stocks pushed Canada's main stock index higher, while U.S. markets were down. Here's a look at the numbers as we head to break. We're chatting how it's chilly in the studio here tonight. Boy, next week
it'll be very cold.
It's going to get chilly outside, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's right. Temperatures really going to drop through Monday into Tuesday, Wednesday. Tuesday, Wednesday kind of look like the coldest days. Some recovery Thursday and Friday. So it won't be like a long, week-long shot, but a couple of very cold nights for sure. Have a look at our viewer picture of the day. Speaking of cold, we're going to zoom in on a beautiful spot here. This is a popular spot. Well, I know both in the summer and the winter season, Baxter's Harbor. Folks like to hike out and see the waterfalls there, and especially when they look like this.
Yeah. More of that in our future next week, I would think.
Yeah. Thanks to Barbara for sharing Ryan's picks at cbc.ca. Now for Friday, temperatures 0 to -4. Mildest temps in through the Tri-County area in the southwest. And obviously, as you can see, cooler in the north and northeast. We'll see some flurries in the morning for the Northumberland Shore region and the northeast of the province. And we'll see those flurries lingering even into the afternoon for Cape Breton, where the clouds are likely to be a bit more dominant. Wind chill values overnight and into tomorrow. Not a huge wind chill factor because the winds are going to be so light. But when they do pick up, it'll feel a little bit cooler than what the actual temperatures will be. So make sure you are bundled up. Now, as we look at the Friday forecast, you can see those flurries kind of moving away from Cape Breton into the afternoon. Still a slight risk, though, from start to finish. High pressure keeping things quiet through Saturday morning. The clouds building in. Possibility of a little bit of drizzle moving into the southwest on Saturday through the afternoon and evening hours. And then that next push will come in, and it will be a wet one. Saturday night into Sunday. Looks like 5 to 15 millimeters, maybe a bit more in through eastern areas. And then there's that next system, which is brewing for Monday. Still a little uncertainty as to what that will bring. Some snow, some mixing, and then the cold.
Okay, thanks, Ryan. Well, talk of cold. Police in Massachusetts had to jump into a freezing lake in Greater Boston recently to save a man and his dog, and here's the video.
Police say the dog fell through the ice and the owner followed in an attempt to save his pet. Rescuers from the local fire department used a tether to crawl over the hole, and it was all caught on drone.
First, the team pulled the man out of the frigid waters, and then they did it all again, going back for the dog and bringing it safely to shore. The man was taken to hospital. The dog went to a vet. Police say they're both okay.
Happy ending there. All right, that's it for us tonight. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Good night.
Good night.